How's it going, Keith? You was telling me you had the flu.
Well, English summertime flu.
Yeah.
Different airports, a lot of different people coming and going. A little bit of odd weather in that it's actually fairly nice outside, but all of a sudden it's raining, stomping around in the water and in the mud and all of that fun stuff.
It's pretty chaotic.
Screaming my brains out every night.
Yeah, that's gonna.
Yeah.
So
but I'm having fun.
Yeah. Do you enjoy the chaos of it then?
Oh, the chaos in the UK, and it's always fun to come over here.
Yeah, I mean the UK is known for sort of high energy shows. I mean, you know, can we get more high energy than?
Well, I heard that this place, the Brunel Social Club, is supposed to be a pretty wild one.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, Leeds is a good city.
But it's Leeds, you know, and one of the greatest live albums ever recorded was recorded. I don't know which venue. I don't think the Who recorded live here, but they recorded a live album somewhere here in Leeds. And many live music enthusiasts seem to think that that's one of the greatest live albums ever recorded.
Yeah. I mean, you were in Leeds last year. You played Leeds Festival. I mean, how was the sort of the UK festivals for the, you know, how did they treat you last time you were here?
Well, the last time we were in the UK, we started with the Rebellion Fest over in Blackpool. Then we played the Heavy Fest. Now I forget where that is, but it was at some wildlife park, animal park, like a giant zoo. That was with the Dillinger Escape Plan. Yes, Dillinger Escape Plan, and the Bronx, and a few others. That was a lot of fun. That was about 6,000 people. We played both Leeds and Reading, and they treat us fantastic. They treat us like royalty.
I mean, you say 6,000 people. That's Do you prefer that kind of audience? The big crowds. Tonight's venue isn't. There's not going to be 6,000 people. Do you prefer that smaller kind of, more intimate kind of show?
Well, I love the intimate show because of the vibe. It's right there in your face. You can see everybody. You can look everybody in the eye, depending upon the size of the venue. And it's hot and sweaty, which is great for a vocalist. I really love that because that's where I come from, but I also love the festivals because, like the last time we were here, I got to hang out with Jim Lindberg, who used to be the vocalist in Pennywise, who's now in a band called Black Pacific. I never get to see Jim. He's from the same place that I'm from, Hermosa Beach in the South Bay in Southern California. But I also got to hang out with one of my really, really, really good friends, Billy Stevenson in the Descendants. And I very rarely see Billy. Billy lives in Colorado, and I'm on the West Coast, so.
Yeah, no, touring will always do that to you. I mean, how's this tour been? Have you how's it been treating you so far?
This tour, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, we've had some tense moments. We luckily got all of the screaming and yelling done at the very beginning of the tour in Zurich. I was going to get beat up by the biggest guy in the band, and we got over it. Everybody went off into their corner and collected their thoughts, became cool, calm, and we're ready to go.
The way it should be. Now
we're touring with Trash Talk. They're a lot of fun.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Now, Off has often been sort of said to be a supergroup, and you're saying a little bit of a cloud. Does that mean there's a lot of egos flying around, or is it or is that just do you like that label at all?
I really dislike the supergroup label. Because when I think of supergroup, the first supergroup that comes to mind is Asia. And they're terrible. Then you have the Firm, who are also terrible. And there's a few more, and it's just, there's nothing super about us. We're not bulletproof. We can't get out there in the road and stop a truck from running us over.
No.
Granted, we've all been in a lot of different bands, very well-respected bands in the musical community. We have a lot of people that are looking up to us, but I'm not that tall, so you're not looking up to me. You're looking me right in the eye, or you're looking down to me.
Fair enough. You mentioned you've been in a lot of bands previously. All of you have been in different bands previously. Do you reckon that that's helped sort of bring off, sort of get it out there a little bit more? You know, those fans coming over and check out your new stuff. Sort of, has it made the sort of the transition easier, I guess? That's what I'm saying.
The transition really isn't any easier, because when you start a new band, you don't know what's going to happen. You start learning about people's personalities, and you start realizing that, you know, I like this, I don't like that. Get out of my face. You know, leave me alone. You know, all sorts of weird shit starts happening.
I mean, do you reckon there's sort of anyone that, there must be, people, do you know of any specific instances of people just coming to off as a fresh experience, having not previously experienced any of the other bands or the other guys were in?
You mean the transition because of,
yeah,
you know, all of the other bands that we've played in?
Do you think there's any people come in completely without, you know, listen to Off without having heard any of the other band before? I just think it's something for those fans, the original sort of fans of the other bands.
That would be fantastic, and I hope that a large portion of our audience is the curiosity seekers, the thrill seekers, the ones who are not familiar with, you know, anything else that we've done. I think that that's brilliant. I hope that there's a good chunk of the good portion of the crowd that comes to see us, their first time, you know, new to all of this.
So that natural discovery of a new band,
well, maybe they could have been in a record store and the guy behind the counter was playing some of our music, and they went, okay, I like that, who is that, I'll buy that, I'll go see them.
I mean, do you think that what what Off is doing is you know, there's not a lot of bands doing what Off is doing in the current punk scene? Like, do you think that helps?
Well, I don't really consider us being part of any scene. I mean, granted, we play very loud and aggressive music, but we certainly don't look like a lot of the bands. And we initially set out, that's one of the reasons why we play all of the festivals that we can, because we want to play with TV on the radio and Deer Hunter and Neon Indian and Ty Segall and the OCs. You know, I've been playing music for over 33 years, and I love all of the genres of music. And the way that we look at this is it's just a big party, and everybody should be allowed to come to the party.
Totally. It's the best way to look at it. Just moving on quickly to the new album, like, you know, what's the reception been like? You did the first 4 EPs, and then sort of that went really well. Critics loved it, fans loved it. What has the reception been like with the new album?
Well, the reception for the album, as opposed to the first 4 EPs, people were already familiar with who we are, so that made things a lot easier. And the record company came in, kicked it into high gear, and made for like a really great experience. The difference between the two, there really isn't much of a difference. I mean, the way we recorded, both were pretty much recorded in like 2 days. The first 4 EPs were split. I think our first recording session we recorded like 9 songs, and then we went out and we played a bunch of shows and came back and recorded the rest of the music for the first 4 EPs. And then this last time, we set up on a Thursday and drove away on Saturday.
Oh, I mean, how did it actually all come together? If you know, how did the sort of, you're saying you did it in 2 days. Did it come together as quickly as it was recorded? Like,
well, we don't have a lot of time together because of the makeup of the band and all of the parents that are in the band being fathers and having to be with their kids. So when we get together, our window of opportunity is very, very short. If the window could open 60 inches, we only get 6 inches. So we got to leap through there and hope that we don't bump our heads and just go and do whatever we can, however we can, whenever we can.
Definitely. I mean, you said there are
one of the shadows that just passed by. He plays in 5 different bands. So we're juggling that schedule. This band, the only guys in this band that this band is a priority to are Dimitri and I, because we write the music and we write the songs.
I mean, you said there's a lot of schedule juggling. I mean, so how hard is it to come on a tour like this, especially so far away from home?
It's actually not that difficult because we have a booking agent who books the shows for us. Sometimes the scheduling and some of the drives are a little bit crazy. Like we drove through probably one of the most scenic parts of Italy, but because these guys take their time when it's time to get up in the morning and get something to eat and get in the van and go to the next show, everybody just kind of drags their asses. We drive through one of the most beautiful places in the world in the fog at nighttime, so we don't get to see anything. A lot of these places I've never been to. I've been playing music for 33 years, and I've always been in bands that could barely tie their shoes, couldn't get their shit together. It's like, hey, we have the opportunity to go to Europe. Okay, I want to go. Everybody says they want to go, but nobody.
You don't end up seeing it.
Nobody took the time to make the phone call, and I can take blame for a quarter of that. It's going to start getting loud. You hear the vocal in the background.
We're just wrapping up. Actually, maybe forgive me if I'm wrong here, but did I used to, I don't know if I heard you quoted or saw you quoted that you said that a lot of sort of current what people consider punk rock is boy bands with guitars. I just wonder if you could elaborate on that and or tell me I was wrong.
Well, you're not wrong, because there's a handful of magazines that you could pick up that are just cluttered with these bands that the record companies think are pretty amazing because they're really cute and they all have the same haircut and they all have the same tattoos and all of that fun stuff. I'm not dissing them, and there's a time and place for all of that. I don't have the time and place for any of that.
Fair enough. Pretty much done. Thank you very much for doing that. It'll be a great show tonight, and it's great to meet you.
Thank you.